It's mailbag time here on NFL Daily. Before we get into some of these awesome questions from our live audience, I want you to go ahead and go to magicspoon.com/chat where you guys can save $5 off on healthy cereal. Cereal that's actually too good to be true. Or wait, it is true. magicspoon.com/chat. Go ahead. It's down there in the comments. Does Dolphins legendary wide receiver Mark Clayton deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Pretty interesting question here. So, Jack, if you could actually make me a graphic around Mark Clayton, that'd be phenomenal. But in terms of overall play, shout out to Jack. That was awesome. 582 yards, 8,974 yards, and then yards per season, 897, 84 career touchdowns. So you want to talk about somebody who in 158 games put up this type of production. It is kind of an interesting player to talk about. Is he one of the best? He's definitely up there. Is he a Hall of Fame receiver? Definitely could be argued. I believe he's like top 70 all time in terms of yards for a career and top 20 for touchdowns. But Mark Clayton, definitely one of the best of all time. So Clayton could maybe be considered at one time a sleeper for some people. But how about this? I want you to name a sleeper wide receiver who y'all think could jump into the top 5. Somebody like, I was going to say like DK Metcalf. Not that he was a super sleeper, but he definitely jumped up in the top 5. Justin Jefferson was a rookie, had an absolutely insane year this past season. Calvin Ridley went from being a good receiver to now one of the better receivers in the league. So I want you to think of somebody that could take that step who maybe a lot of people don't know about and could actually be a top 5 receiver.
From King Cuddy, should the Dolphins go sign David Decastro? Look, I'm always open to adding more offensive line help. But I think what's going to end up happening is that no, the Dolphins aren't going to be very interested. In all likelihood, Robert Hunt's going to make the move from right tackle to right guard. Solomon Kindley kicks over to left guard as he tries to hold off the likes of a Jesse Davis, a Michael Dieter, and maybe DJ Fluker is held off by Robert Hunt at right guard. And those are your guards long term, Kindley and Hunt. I like both those guys. I think they're very talented players, or at least have the upside to be a really good duo at offensive guard. Plus, they're young and cheap. So I get it. You want to make the offensive line better, but you also have to see what those young guys can do. Now, if Decastro wants to sign for next to nothing, yes, of course. But he's also coming off his own ankle issue. So I think in reality, the more likely outcome for Miami is that they pass on David Decastro. Speaking of Decastro, as we asked you guys at the beginning of today's live show, make your predictions for me. Where do you think David Decastro will end up signing? Is it Miami or somewhere else altogether? Get your votes in for me right now in the comments section. From Yurji, if I got your name wrong, I'm terribly sorry, my friend. Should the Dolphins get a running back in free agency or get one in the 2022 NFL draft? I mean, I'd say draft. I've also said draft for 2 years in a row, and they haven't been able to get one. They were going to take Javonte Williams, I am convinced, and then Denver sniped him. So the free agents left right now, Lev Bell, Todd Gurley, it's not going to fix your problem long term. Next offseason, see who becomes available, but I would once again be looking at the draft for the running back spot to fix it long term. Today's mailbag is made possible by the best tasting healthy cereal out there. That's Magic Spoon. Get $5 off your first order at magicspoon.com/chat. Tons of flavors for you guys, and they are all high in protein, which, helps you get bigger and the 4 low carbs, by the way. That's it, just 4 net grams there. Helps me work on the dad bod I've cultivated, which I'm not proud of as I jiggle my stomach like Santa Claus. It's also, though, sweet and delicious. It tastes like the cereal that we grew up with, but it's actually good for you. Get $5 off your first order by grabbing a box or 4 of them over at magicspoon.com/chat. I will have a clickable link in the comments section and in the description for you guys so that all you have to do is click it and get your first order today. magicspoon.com/chat. From Bunny Gamer, if Xavien Howard goes to a team, in your opinion, which one would it be and why? Good question. I think at some level, whatever team offers the Dolphins the most in a trade. I think a team like Arizona, who is trying to contend, isn't paying any big money to corners right now, and needs one, is maybe even under the radar destination. So I like Arizona. I know teams like the Seahawks have been heavily speculated. I still think the most likely outcome is the Dolphins and Howard kiss and make up. But beyond that, I would say Arizona is probably a good dark horse team to keep an eye out for.
If Aaron Rodgers is traded, if Deshaun Watson's traded, if any of that happens, we're going to keep you updated here. Help Chat Sports gets to 250,000 subscribers. We are the #1 rated channel on YouTube for interaction and for sports content. I'd like to keep it that way. So if you could, subscribe. If you are already one of our loyal watchers like Mariners fan, Big Chungus, Mark Mulo Jr., Estrada, if you could please take the link, youtube.com/chatsportstv, and send it to some friends, man, we'd really appreciate it.
From King J, what city gets an NFL team next? London? They're kind of like a hybrid team. It's very complicated from a travel perspective, but London always makes sense. San Antonio is constantly mentioned, but they've already got 2 Texas teams. That's a bit of a stretch to me, so I'll go London, but I don't think it's imminent by any stretch of the imagination. From JG, what team will be the black horse this year? I think you mean dark horse. I've never heard it as black horse before. Technically true, but also kind of wrong. If you mean dark horse like sleeper team, to make a very, very deep run, I might go Washington, actually. In terms of making the postseason, Denver if they find a good quarterback. Beyond that, I am at least... I'm not going to pick them. That's too early. Can I throw in the Patriots? They feel like cheating, but the Patriots have talent, and they get a lot of their key defensive pieces back and healthy, so I'll go Patriots and Washington in the respective AFC, NFC. From Mark Pryor, ooh, what a good question here. Who is the worst starting running back in the NFL? Ooh, I think the answer here, isn't it Michael Carter, or is it, I think it's somebody in the AFC East, right? It's probably, insert Bills player, but probably not. The Dolphins, is it Myles Gaskin? I like Michael Carter, but he's a totally unproven rookie. You know, Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings, Falcons are fine, Panthers, Saints, Bucks. I think it's one of those AFC East teams. It's not David Johnson, so I think in the end I'm going to go Michael Carter, who I like, but for now is the worst starter. Let me know in the comments section now, folks, and this is me allowing you guys to be mean and to be rude. Let me know what NFL team that you guys hate the most. Which franchise can you simply not stand? Who is it? You can say multiple teams even if you want. Get your votes in for me in the comments section right now.